Hey there, folks. I'll start off today's talk by saying that I've started watching an anime called Dead Man Wonderland. I saw it on my Netflix feed and thought, meh, okay. I've heard younger people talking about how good it is. I'd give it a shot. And I've watched 2 of the 12 episodes so far. And it's really got me wondering, what the hell is it with kids these days and these stories of evil adults putting them in a horrible system that will probably kill them and pits them against each other? I mean, in this one, this kid, who is only 15, is wrongly accused of killing all his classmates in a horrible disaster, even though, like, the weird red entity that did the killing doesn't seem to have done it in any way that would make sense for a 15-year-old kid to do it. But anyhow, he gets wrongly convicted. Video of him confessing shows up out of nowhere, even though that's not possible. And he ends up being sent to this, like, horrible prison where, in order to survive, you've got to, like, participate in horrible mockeries of you know, whimsical games. It's, as you can tell by the Wonderland thing. And, you know, I mean, we know he's going to survive because of the protagonist effect, but it's a place where, you know, I mean, the first real episode, the second episode, the one I watched today, has, like, a race where, like, probably at least 50 kids die. All criminals, supposedly. And I'm starting to wonder, like, obviously this is an extraordinarily unrealistic view, because, I mean, I don't think Japan produces enough convicted juvenile delinquents who have done horrible enough crimes to get the death penalty, which definitely does not exist in Japan. But perhaps I'm missing the point on that. I'll hand wave that. Anyhow, like this and the Hunger Games and that Maze thing they got out now and dozens of other things. This really seems to be a theme that resonates with the kids these days. And I'm wondering why. What is it about this particular scenario? Because, you know, coming from the point of view of a 40-year-old Gen Xer who, you know, grew up in a fairly difficult time, especially once I hit adulthood, you know, in the 90s, I'm still wondering, like, isn't this is a tad harsh, you know? I mean, we did a lot of stuff about being depressed in the 90s, but we weren't talking about, like, a giant system designed to chew us up and spit us out. Well, in our case, the system just didn't give a fuck. Anyway, so I'm left wondering, like, what horrible mistake have we made raising these kids that has led them to want this particularly harsh kind of fantasy? And so, of course, I have a theory, because that's what I do. I have theories. I have theories about everything. If I don't have a theory about something, it's because I haven't thought about it yet. Anyway, so my theory is that what happened is that we had a period of prosperity, and we had our kids then, and we raised the kids with all the attention and comfort and everything like that we, the first latchkey generation, never really got. And yes, we flipped out and made the exact opposite mistake. Becoming helicopter parents, spoiling the kids, never making them have to make decisions for themselves, and so forth and so on. We've all heard the stories. But then, around 2008, the world got much shittier. And that's the world into which these kids are going to leave their cozy little wombs and try to make a living for themselves. So that's how they see the world now, essentially. That the adult system has basically betrayed them, which it has, and they are going to be shoved unprepared and unfairly and brutally into a much harsher world than they were ever prepared for. I mean, that's the thing about overprotecting your kids. It's not just simply that it might make them a little rotten. It's that, eventually they're going to have to leave the nest. Although I can understand why a lot of them aren't real eager to do that. But eventually they're going to have to leave the nest, and they're going to have to be ready. Part of the duty of every parent is to make their child ready for the world. And that means sometimes you're going to have to be unnice. You're going to have to be a disciplinarian. You're going to have to push them into doing things they maybe don't totally want to do. But if you do not prepare your child for the world, then you're a bad parent. In fact, I think in some cases it really classifies as abuse. So that's my theory as to what it is with kids these days. What's the matter with kids these days? Anyway, going for these works that present the world in such a harsh way. At least my generation just got ignored. We were the "Are you still here?" generation. Anyhow, so that's my thoughts for today. Wow, 7 minutes. I didn't think it was going to be this long. I will talk to you nice people again tomorrow. Bye-bye.